Hey there, everyone. It's Denise Salcedo. Welcome back to the channel. My guest for today is none other than AJ Francis. AJ, man, finally got you on the pod. It's been forever.
Yeah, I like your Bret Hart behind you. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. I make sure to match the chair as well. It's for good
Okay,
luck.
shit.
It's for good luck.
Ah,
I'm like, want to be the best? You got to have the best, right?
hey, the best there is, the best there was, best there ever will be. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's the whole motto behind this. But AJ, let's get right to it. So right now, a lot of people don't know this, but you are backstage right now at
Oh yeah,
MLW. What's going on?
yeah. It's gonna be packed to the
Ooh.
brim tonight. Melrose Ballroom. I'm in New York City. Had to put my Yankee hat on. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good time. I got a match with Mr. Thomas. We're doing stuff with the Boomaye Fight Club. I'm pretty much trying to do a hostile takeover of Boomaye. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now that I'm enjoying.
Yeah, seriously. And I got to tell you, you're sort of been everywhere, man. You're
Hmm.
doing this with MLW. You're also doing stuff with TNA. I mean, what has the schedule been like since departing from WWE?
My schedule's crazier now than when I was in WWE. For most of my time in WWE, I was flying into whatever city SmackDown was on Thursday. I was doing SmackDown on Friday, and then I'm flying home on Saturday. Now I'm on the road usually at least two, most times three, nights a weekend. Sometimes Thursday to Sunday, different cities. Tomorrow I got to go to Alabama. So like, there's a lot, man. It's fun. It's fun because I'm able to do the things that I've always wanted to do.
I feel like that's the goal, right? To always be wanting to be busy and doing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's good because obviously you're continuing to keep your name out there and doing a bunch of
Hmm.
stuff. So, I want to get into both MLW and Impact because obviously getting to be part of both of these promotions. What have those experiences been like for you? I know that today, later on today, your first match with Impact Wrestling airs, the tag
Uh
team
huh.
match with you and Cody Deaner against Rich Swann and Joe Hendry. So like, I don't know, what has your experience been like with both promotions?
This is my first time actually being live at MLW, so I'll be able to answer that question better later tonight. But dealing with them setting this whole thing up has been great. I've loved my time at TNA. TNA has went out of their way to take care of me and giving me opportunities that I didn't always get, and I'm making the most of them. We're making a lot of noise with what we're doing at TNA, as far as like the feud with Joe Hendry and the stuff I'm doing with Rich Swann, and it's a great time, man. I'm having a lot of fun because I've always been able to do this. It wasn't for lack of ability; it was lack of opportunity. And now I'm getting the opportunity to do what I want everywhere that I go, and I'm producing results.
So, like, that's the thing. You mentioned obviously in WWE, things didn't probably go the way that you wanted it to. So, kind of looking back at your time in WWE, taking that break, coming back to WWE, for you, like, I don't know, like, are there any regrets, anything you wish you would have done differently, that things would have gone differently? How do you look back at your time with the company?
Anything that I would have done differently? No, I didn't really get a chance to do anything. I showed up to work. I went to the PC every week. I worked with William Regal in the ring every week. I pitched ideas to creative every week. I went out and whenever I got a chance to get on the microphone, I had the crowd in the palm of my hand every time. So like the only thing that I wish I could do is get more opportunities. I love the fact that I got to work with WWE, but like I'm also not a pick me boy. Like you don't need to pick me, pick me, pick me. If you don't think that I can bring something to the table, let me show you what I can bring to the table. And that's exactly what I've done. That's why everybody's talking about what I'm doing at TNA. That's why everybody's talking about what I'm doing at MLW. That's why everybody's talking about what I'm going to be doing at NWA. So it's like because of what I bring to the table, what I am able to get. I mean, I've been on the Pat McAfee show twice since I got released. Not because anyone set it up for me, because I know Pat personally. You know what I'm saying? Like we both played in the NFL, so it's like to be able to use my relationship because, quite frankly, WWE don't need me. Like they never did. They don't need nobody. They've proven that year after year after year. They don't need nobody. Um, like one person's gonna show up in WWE one week, and if they don't show up the next week, that week's probably still gonna be sold out. Like they don't need me, but what I can bring to the table, access to Super Bowl Media Row, all the other companies need access like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I can bring to the table, and that's what I'm very much looking forward to for the remainder of this run.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that because unfortunately you and I missed each other by like just a couple minutes
Literally,
or whatever. We probably passed by each other and didn't even realize it
literally,
at Radio Row. And I wanted to talk to you about that because it was my first time to get an experience like that, and I know that you did
yeah,
the Pat McAfee show. How was it to be able, like you said, it's your second time now to being on the Pat
yeah.
McAfee show, but his show is like up there with the very best. So how did it feel to kind of get that opportunity and all of that?
It felt great. I didn't even go there to do that. I had other stuff that I was doing. I was there to, talk to Kay Adams, who does Up and Adams, one of the best morning talk shows in all of sports. I used to do her show with her when she was on Good Morning Football on the NFL Network. So like I've known her for years. I went there. I did some stuff with Sirius XM because I do a lot of stuff with them through DJ Who Kid, and I've been doing stuff with them football related since I was in college. You know what I'm saying? So like, I have a relationship there. I have a bunch of other friends that work in the media at NBC, at CBS, at ABC. That's why you see me on all these networks all the time. I made these connections before I ever took my first bump, but I walked past Pat just to say what's up, just like I'm seeing Sad, just saying what's up, blah blah blah. And they told me to sit there and get on the mic. Like that was their call. That wasn't like me fishing for the opportunity. Like they wanted me on it because they know what I bring to the table and they support the things that I do. And because of that, I get to talk about TNA on a show hosted by a literal commentary guy for WWE. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of things that have been given to me because of things that I've earned in the past that I haven't been able to show for the past 3 years. Because if WWE wants somebody on the Pat McAfee show, they'll put him on there tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that easy for them. But wrestlers not in WWE, that's not how that works. You know, like that's not how it works. When I hosted the Cheez It Citrus Bowl for, what I'm saying, in Orlando, like people make the Cheez It champion joke all they want, but then people would cut their left arm off to be holding that title belt on the sideline and getting that fat check. You know what I'm saying? So like, so you can cut your jokes. I laugh to the bank. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bringing opportunities and eyes to products that didn't have them before, and that's why they support what I do.
What's the secret, AJ? Because I'm a person that kind of has a hard time when it comes to like networking and all of that stuff, but you got that down to a T. Tell the people
Yeah.
what's the secret to making sure that you get all these connections, you talk to people, all of that.
The main secret is to treat people right. Like if you're nicer to people, they're more inclined to help you. Um, for example, like I've met, people, and I treat everybody the same, but like I've met people, I'll be at CBS or at NBC, and I won't know who I'm talking to because I've never met these people before. And it'll be like it'll be the president of the network. You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, who's that? They're like, oh, that's AJ Francis. He's here for X, Y, and Z. They're like, oh, well, we got to make sure we keep in contact with him. Like, it's about treating people right. It's about getting out there. It's about talking to the right people. You can say you're not used to networking, but girl, you said you was at Media Row. You can't lie to me. You ain't gonna be able to lie
I
to me.
know, but I'm shy. It's funny because like no one ever sees that, and I'm those like shy, quiet, polite people, and I kind of hate that because it's like a flaw. Like I'm too polite, so it kind of makes me like I'll be like, yes, hi, nice to meet you.
One thing I
Speak
have,
when
one thing
spoken
I have,
to.
exactly. One thing I have going for me that you don't get the benefit of is the fact that every room that I'm in, people stare at me because I'm a giant,
Yeah,
right? So I
they're like,
like
who's
you
that?
can't,
He must be somebody.
yeah,
Who is he?
yeah, literally. Or like my favorite question of all time, I got it this morning in the airport. Someone literally will just walk up to me and be like, "Who are you?" And I'll be like, "Well, that's rude." But
I'm a human on this earth.
yeah, like or the other one's like, "What do you do?" I'm like, Sir, I'm eating a chicken, egg, and cheese biscuit from Chick-fil-A. It's 7:30 in the morning. Can you leave me alone? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, but it's true though, because you look at you and like let's say like you don't know you, right? You could be like
uh,
literally everything. You could be an athlete, you could be someone in
mhm.
music, or hell, like because of your size, you can be some really famous person's bodyguard. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I get that a lot. That's why I can't wear black to the nightclub. If I go out, you'll never see me wear black to a nightclub or a bar, because then people come up to me the whole night asking me where the bathroom is, like I work there.
Ah, you're
that's a
like, yes, sir, to
that's
the
a fact.
right.
It's a fact. They'll be like, well, where's the bathroom at? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not working here. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like, I get that. The funny thing is that like I could be an athlete, I could be a wrestler, I could be a musician. I'm actually all of those things.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So
yeah.
so it's like they're not wrong. The only time that they're wrong is when they're like, do you play basketball? And while I did play basketball in high school, and my dad is a basketball coach, one of the winningest basketball coaches in the state of Maryland, uh, basketball players that are 6'5" are like 170 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm 6'5", 330. There's a bit of a gap there.
So, AJ, we're talking about you going out there, you and being in Las Vegas. Tell us about the
Mhm.
parties. What was that
Ooh,
experience like? Because I know you're probably at some good parties.
man. The most fun I had while I was there, I can't say because my nana might see this, but just
Nana,
know my
cover
boy.
your ears.
Yeah, yeah. So my boy Expressions, he's like a really big. He used to work for Barstool, and he's a really big wrestling fan. But he's from the UK. He's from London, and he covers Tottenham and like soccer for across the pond. And he's like super famous online. You've probably seen a dozen videos of his. You just don't know it. And me and him had one hell of a night. We started with Travis Scott at the club, and that was the second time I was with Travis Scott. The first time I was with Travis was thanks to DJ Who Kid in Miami. That was a good time. And then we kicked it with Travis, and we was at the club, and then after that we went to a gentleman's establishment and spent a little money. So it was a good time there too.
Gentleman's establishment, spent a little
Yeah,
money. Y'all are smart. Y'all put two and two together watching this
yeah,
interview.
yeah,
Hey man, what
yeah.
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's like that's the
Man,
rule, right? It's the rule.
yeah. But the thing is like to me is like I've been to Vegas a lot. People forget that like my first year in the NFL was 11 years ago. So I've been around the block a few times, and I've been to Vegas a few times, and I have some crazy parties at Vegas because like of the connections I made through the NFL and all that. But like the Super Bowl was crazy because everybody was in town and everybody was trying to make moves and everybody was doing anything that they wanted to do. So if I knew we were supposed to link up, you big dog me. You know what I'm saying?
No,
You too.
I messaged you back. I
You
have
big
proof.
dog me. Yeah,
No,
It took you too long. You know what I'm saying? You big dog me. It's all right. You
I
could have been with
messaged
Travis
you
Scott
right
too. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it's all
I
right.
messaged you right back and I was like, because I'll be real with you, like my Twitter notifications are off. Like those things are
Yeah,
not on. So
yeah.
if I go on to have to go on to Twitter to look at my DM specifically if I'm looking for that. So I looked at your message and I don't know, I was like 4 hours later or something. And I was like,
Yep.
are you still here? And
You
you were like, no, I left.
snooze, you lose.
Yeah, and
Snooze, you lose.
I was like, "Are you gone? Are you still here? Like, what's the
Yeah,
plan? What are you doing?"
yeah,
And so, yeah, unfortunately, I missed you by a little bit. And what's funny is that I saw you did interviews with people I was literally just
yeah.
talking to
I
earlier in
know.
the day, and I was like, "Bro, what happened?"
Yeah,
But it's funny.
because it's funny because when I was on Media Row, like I only went for Sirius and I went to CK. So I only went for like two or three things. But like I said, I made a lot of connections. I got a lot of friends. So like I spent literally every minute from like 8 a.m. to like 4 p.m. when I left. I literally had to do the Irish exit and sneak out the back, like so that people would stop talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I am exhausted because I was literally partying with Expressions the night before till like literally 7 a.m. I got like 30 minutes of sleep and then went to Media Row. So it was a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Vegas was Vegas was a fever dream.
That's awesome, man. I love stuff like that. There was another. Oh yeah, I want to get into since we're talking about all these cool events and things. So in literally what like a month, 40, what is it like 30 something days or whatever?
Uh-huh.
We are going to be going into WrestleMania week, and part of that there
Oh
is going
yeah.
to be WaleMania. I went to
Oh
my
yeah.
first WaleMania last year, had a fun experience. I know you're being promoted for that. Tell us
Mhm.
about it.
So WaleMania is the number one destination for wrestling fans that appreciate hip hop. Um, every WrestleMania weekend. I actually went to the first ever WaleMania as a fan, just as like I was still in the NFL. And I had to pay to get in, just like everybody else got to pay to get in. And I just went as a fan, and it was crazy. That night was crazy. It was so much fun. And then, the last two WaleManias, I've been part of the show and performed and been on stage. And so this one, I'll be performing my new single, which is also my entrance music, "We Outside," with 3 Black, who's my homeboy from DC, who he actually has worked with Wale and done shows with Wale before because he's a hit maker. He's got a bunch of songs that have millions and millions of streams. So it was only right, you know what I'm saying, to be able to put it together. And then also like it's a great party. Like everybody who's anybody in wrestling that's part of the culture will be there. Everybody will be there. And we got a couple surprises. I got a surprise that I want to do with my set during my performance that I haven't, when it happens, probably going to break the internet. But last year we broke the internet. We did the Hit Row reunion. And oh yeah, that's right. I got to beef with you and all you wrestling writers, man. Last year, last year, Samoa Joe goes viral for rapping the Jay-Z song, right?
Uh huh.
He did one verse, I did the other two. Like, what's going on? Like, how come I wasn't the one? Like, when Dolla gonna get his flowers? You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. He did one verse, I did two. Like, and people act like I wasn't even there. Like, that's
You're like, damn,
crazy.
I was there too.
Yeah, he handed me the mic. Like, what's going on? Like, he was like, I don't want to do this anymore because you know, Joe. If
Yeah.
you watch that video, Joe had a few. You know what I'm saying? Joe had threw a few back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he was having a good time. He was like, all right, I'm over this, and he just gave me the mic, and then I finished it. And then I see all the videos. I'm like, damn, was I there? Am I dripping?
Savage, man. Savage. All right.
Man,
Well, speaking of
crazy.
savage, I actually got one more thing I want to bring up because it's actually kind of funny. And it's how you and I started talking. I don't know if you
Mhm.
remember, but you and I found ourselves in the exact same place. We'd be everywhere at the same time. Like
Uh-huh.
for reals. We were
You're a little
both
socialite yourself. Don't lie.
quiet one, a quiet one. I just be everywhere like a fly. You don't even know I'm there. So we were both at the exact same Jets game where Aaron
Hmm.
Rodgers got
Towards
hurt.
Achilles.
My God. Okay, I want to know your experience, man. Like just being there and like just witnessing what I witnessed, which was just like, depression
Yeah.
all around.
Literally, I've never 80,000 people got quiet so fast. Um,
Yes.
it was like all the air got sucked out of the room. Um, it was like it was crazy because I played in that stadium many times. I played there when I was on DC. I played there when I was on the Dolphins, and we played the Jets. And then my last team that I was on, it was only for the preseason. I was on the Giants, so I've been there a lot of times. I've heard that crowd loud as can be, but I never heard them how they were after Aaron Rodgers towards Achilles 4 plays in. You talk about quiet. Like the guy next to me, and mind you, so I went to college with Stephon Diggs, so I was there in a Bills jersey, supporting the homeboy, and I was there with Ashante the Adonis. He had on a Sauce Gardner jersey for the Jets, obviously, and we were having a good time. We got some good seats. It was a great time. And then as soon as Aaron Rodgers got hurt, the whole crowd was mum's the word. Nobody could say it. Nothing. It was crazy. And like you could see, there was just a dialogue. And one thing about me is like I do it at football games, and I do it at like sports bars where like I played in the NFL for 6 years. Like I know football at a different level than 99.9% of humans on earth, right? So like people make bad football takes all the time. There's people that get paid money to make bad football takes on television all the time. But at sports bars and fans in the stands are some of the worst ever. And I'm hearing what these guys are saying about like their depression, about what's happening with the Jets and all these different things. And I'm just buttoning it up. I'm not trying to be involved in none of these conversations because it can only go bad and end up having to talk to people for 45 minutes when I'm like, bro, I didn't come here to have a conversation with you. I came here to watch the game, brother. So that happens a lot when anything football related. When it happened literally today on my flight here, where one person there knew me on the flight because they knew me from when I was on the Dolphins, and then they told the person next to them, and then the people behind them. So then next thing I know, like all the flight attendants want to take pictures, and it's a whole thing. But I end up having to talk to the guy next to me for 40 minutes about football when I just want to take a nap, brother. Like I just want
Yeah.
to catch some Z's on the flight, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
I gotta,
worst. I'm not even
you
gonna
know what I'm
lie. I
saying?
agree with you on
You know
that.
what I'm
It's
saying?
like the person, even though you're sitting next to people, you should have your personal time in an airplane.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm already big as hell. So it's like, I'm already uncomfortable on this little ass tin rocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need all the comfort I can get. So, but it was that game was crazy, and I feel sorry for you Jets fans. Yeah,
It was depressing, man. My husband's a big fan, and I just saw like all of his dreams wash away because he had been talking about this for like ever, you know? When you live in a house with a big football fan, it's just that's what it is. But
yeah.
AJ, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. Before we go, please let the people know where they can support you, where they can follow you, and all of that great stuff.
Yeah, follow me on all social media at AJ Francis 410. Once again, that's at AJ Francis 410. All my merch and all my music is in my bio links on everything from Twitter, Instagram, X, I guess is what you call it now. TikTok, everything. You can follow me once again on all social media at AJ Francis 410. And thank you for waiting for me to get here. I was a little bit late. I don't like to be late. I like to be on time. So thank you for waiting for me.
No worries, man. All right, I'm going to post all of the links to that in the description box below. And to everybody watching, thank you guys so much, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.